Holy fuck, I almost had to check my pulse and I thought I was having a stroke or a heart attack or maybe both at the same times, or the old brain tumor that's up here just finally fucking burst. And I didn't know I was actually reading this right, because the RNC actually did something good and something of consequence instead of just coming out with their boilerplate statements about socialism is bad. Biden's inflation is terrible for the regular people that we don't care about and we just want their money from because they're just stupid rubes. But no, they voted to withdraw from the Commission on Presidential Debates. What does that mean? The debate system as we know it, which we've seen over the past few election cycles, okay, is just such an outdated format. Oh, sorry, you have a certain amount of time to make your point, and we'll go back and forth, and then you have 20 seconds to rebut. And then when everybody realizes that, probably like open conversation between two parties would probably be the best way to get information out and really expose the ideas that these people hold and see how deeply held these beliefs are, and that they aren't just simply being fed into somebody's ear and then regurgitated through the microphone while holding strenuously onto the podium, so your Adderall doesn't, when it starts to wear off, it doesn't quite take too much of a hit to you and you just collapse like a fucking corpse on the floor. Not pointing out anybody in particular, but hey, just theoretically speaking, okay, because it's an outdated format, okay? There's, I guess, some sort of functionality of the debate format. We see how fucking worthwhile it is on certain corners of the internet where you got the debate me bros, and it's like, okay, what? Well, structured debate, yeah, no, it's, in theory, it's fine, but when it's accomplished, it's just fucking mostly garbage. But thanks for the Commission of Presidential Debates putting in those egregious guidelines for the, vice presidential debate and the... For sure, I think, yeah, that was right after the first presidential debate, right, in 2020. They're like, oh, you're only going to have 2 minutes, and then we're going to cut off your microphone. Well, what if Trump's on a roll, okay? And then when everything's all said and done, okay, you need to explain something so in-depth as foreign policy. Oh, sir, you got 90 seconds to explain something so in-depth as the peace agreements between the Middle Eastern countries and Israel. And it's like, we're going to need a little bit more than 90 seconds to properly get that point across, okay? And yeah, it makes for a lot of fun moments because one person's talking over another and another person can't quite handle the conversation, but on a whole, nobody really gains anything out of the debates, really. You're just looking for those little 30-second clips where you can catch somebody out of context and that you can just try to make a little meme out of it. Just having open and honest debate without any stupid restrictions would accomplish so much more, because everybody has their mind made up by the time that the debates come on, and you just come on and it's like rooting for your favorite sports team, okay? Nobody's minds are ever changed because there's not enough words that are said that are of consequence for you to have your positions challenged. So it's an outdated system. So when I seen this, it's like the RNC doing something correct. It has to be a holy day. The Republican National Committee voted unanimously Thursday to withdraw from the Commission on Presidential Debates, which governs the general debates. In a statement, RNC Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel, don't you forget, said the commission is biased and has refused to enact simple and common sense reforms to help ensure fair debates, including hosting debates before voting begins and selecting moderators who have worked for candidates on the debate stage. Oh, who have never worked for candidates on the debate stage. Yep, like that third, what was that, Kristen Welker or something like that? Yeah, she worked for the DNC. Oh, but that's not a problem. She was the best debate moderator. Go back and watch some of those debates, okay? And you're going to see a different fucking side of that. Chris Wallace was abysmal, but she wasn't any fucking better, let's be fair. And Susan, what was her name? Susan from the fucking vice presidential debates. I think she probably worked for the FDR administration, that old bitch. This vote comes months after the GOP threatened in a letter to urge its candidates not to participate in televised debates unless the commission adopts major reforms. In the letter, McDaniel accused the commission of partisanship and significant errors in its organization of the 2020 presidential debates between then-President Donald Trump and then-presidential candidate Joe Biden. I wish it stayed that way. The commission's repeated missteps and partisan actions of its board members make clear the organization no longer provides the fair and impartial forum for presidential debates, which law requires and American people deserve. No, just get a new fucking format, okay? The reforms McDaniel had advocated for included term limits for the CPD's board of directors, adopting a code of conduct that would prevent staff from making public comments for or against any candidate, committing to hosting at least one debate before the start of early voting. That totally makes sense. And publicly disclosing criteria for moderator selection. Yeah, no, that's fine. CPD is a non-profit, really, that was established in 1987 and has since sponsored and produced presidential debates in all 9 subsequent election cycles. Well, not anymore, stupid. Well, I guess you can, theoretically. It's just no Republicans are going to be showing up. The commission did not immediately respond to the request for comment. Yeah, because they were kind of caught flat-footed. And like I said at the beginning, it's an outdated format and nobody really gives a fuck about it. Okay? Yeah, they draw ratings, but so does Big Brother, and about the same amount is accomplished. I like them for their blood sports value, really. That's about it. It's more or less entertainment. You don't really get anything out of it. Look at everything that was exposed by Trump on behalf of Biden. Okay, he was like, oh, the laptop. We should talk about the laptop and your business dealings with Ukraine and China. Because they said, hey, on that laptop that it's 10% for the big guy. And I think that's you. No, that's Russian disinformation. Blah, blah, blah. Muttering into my soup. All of that was outed right then and there. But, sir, sorry, we need to move on to the next topic. And then it didn't come out and it wasn't quote-unquote verified until a year afterwards. Great, terrific. Or what does everybody remember, okay, from 2016, okay, 2016 presidential debates. What does everybody remember from that? Yeah, that's because you'd be in jail. That was the second debate. Everything else was just kind of a fucking blur, right? So, again, meh. Everybody had their mind made up and they weren't talking about the shit that fucking mattered, okay? Hillary Clinton, she was asked one fucking question about her email server. That was it. Okay, and then we just moved on to literally anything else. Oh, Trump doesn't have a lot of experience. We're just going to talk about that for hours and hours and days and days. Hence why the RNC wanted a little bit more impartiality when it came to moderator selectors, because if you thought Anderson Cooper was going to give Donald Trump a fair shake, you're out of your fucking skull. And then even before that, in 2012, okay, I was not quite paying as close of attention to things as I did starting in about 2015, 2016. But still, what does everybody remember from 2012 between Mitt Romney and Barack Obama? Mitt, you need to call the 1980s and ask for their foreign policy back because Russia's not a problem anymore. That aged like milk. Not for the reasons that they'd want you to think, but we'll just go ahead and push that off to the side. And then again, what? Binders of women? Because, yes, old Mittens has the fucking calm, cool, and collected nature of a Walmart greeter from Duluth. So yeah, here's hoping that this means just kind of a dissolution to the debates and we get some sort of a new procedure, okay? Because it really should just be a sit-down conversation, okay? Or the stand-up town hall idea. It's like you take questions from the crowd and you just answer and you riff on that from both parties. And hey, maybe you have a couple of comments to say about things back and forth. And then you move on to some new topics, okay? And it's not these properly curated topics where we need to talk about green energy and climate change for 95 fucking hours. Like, great, wonderful. We need to hear about that in both of the fucking debates. Okay, or racism in America. Things are burning, but we can't tell you why they're burning because the reason that they're burning is because it's a myth or an idea. But we'll just pillory a fucking club like the Proud Boys for no fucking reason. It's like, remember how nobody knew about them beforehand, but then not long after that, they're literally worse than every neo-Nazi affiliated group in the Ukraine. Fucking wild shit, right? So yeah, we'll see how this develops come the next election cycle, or even if this is implemented, okay, depends on what Republicans do when it comes to just open debates for the different high-profile seats in 2022. Because yeah, the Commission for Presidential Debates, obviously it governs one specific area, but if there's any reforms that get implemented between the high-profile Senate debates or the governorship races as well, that would be interesting to see if there's any reforms that can be taken, and then maybe the RNC rejoins this CPD. I'd imagine imagine they'll probably turn a little plastic spine here not too long from now, and then it's like, oh, we reached an agreement when we came back, and nothing comes out of this. But at least for the time being, I consider this a win, because, yeah, it's a fucking outdated system, and that's about time it seeks some sort of reform. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.